Hello, welcome to Shabeta's Sacred Shedi Garden. I'm Bernadette Torres, and this is Asheni Camino from the central jungle of Peru. Today we'd like to share with you a little of the happenings, the going-ons that we do here in our outdoor school. I was raised by both my parents are from northern New Mexico. My father is from Black Lake in Taos Mountains, and my mother's from Morra, which is in the mountains out north of Las Vegas, New Mexico. We were raised as free-range children. We got to explore the mountains and just be comfortable. My father showed us how to use the plants medicinally, and my mom taught us how to preserve the food in the garden so that we could have good food to eat, fresh food to eat. From there, I worked in retail in the health food industry. I was a manager at one of the health food stores here in Albuquerque, and so I was taught. I learned the Western ways of working with plants also. But I want to tell you more about what we do in our garden. What we do in our garden is we teach people how to reconnect with their five senses, to strengthen those five senses: our sight, our smell, our taste, our hearing, and our touch, so that we have a really strong connection and we can make wiser choices to the things that we put into our body. Why this is important is because nowadays we have so many choices from when we're not in a state of health. The Western doctors may want to give us some kind of treatment, pills or surgery or stuff like this, and we just want people to be able to make wise decisions, feel it in their bodies. And so we want you to know the alternatives, which is nature, which has always been a place where a lot of people go to for their healing. In our garden, we teach people how to grow plants from seed to harvest to fruit. We also teach people how to do composting here, drip system, and then we teach classes. Teach people, I do a chakra herb or a medicine wheel class where I teach people how to find where the imbalances are in the different systems of the body and what plants can help assist well-being. Now, we want to talk about the tobacco. It's the most sacred plant in our garden, and we want to share it with you. We want to show you how it parallels with all the other sacred plants that are coming up and becoming more popular and are starting to grow a stronger reputation, including cannabis and San Pedro and ayahuasca and psilocybin. How this tobacco parallels with them and how it can assist in the same healing for mental, emotional, spiritual health. And then Asheni Camino is the expert on tobacco. That he was raised up in his community. It is the highest level plant, and so I'd like him to share with you how he uses the tobacco for long distance healing. Thank you.
Hola. Pues desde la cultura y la tradición ashénica,
So from the culture, the Ashenica people,
tenemos la planta sagrada
so this is the sacred plant.
del sheri.
In his language, it's called shedi.
Esto ya está deshidratado, ¿no?
So this is a dried tobacco plant.
Y es una muestra para ustedes.
It's a demonstration for you all.
Después de cosechado y secado bajo sombra,
After they harvest it and dry it in the shade,
se pone en un recipiente para poder conservarlo de manera.
Put it in a container to conserve it.
Sí, y esto ya está preparado.
This is prepared.
Está preparado. Y con la única diferencia que esto ya está dedicado.
It's
¿no?
also prayed
dedicado.
over and dedicated for healing.
Entonces, pues las otras maneras de conservarlo.
The other manners
Sí,
to preserve.
es una técnica tradicional.
This is a traditional way of conserving the
que
plant.
se conserva en el tiempo, ¿no?
This saves it so that, you know, when it's not fresh,
Sí.
you can use it still.
Entonces, pues después de sacarlo, pues se corta en pedazos, ¿no? Esto es un pedazo y está listo para poder utilizarlo.
So then you can cut it into smaller pieces to make your preparations.
Ah, pues sí, entonces también se tiene un preparado,
Here's
¿no?
another
A
preparation.
base de un líquido
This is
y
a
que
tincture.
esto se utiliza para energizar durante el trabajo, ¿no? Y poder ingresar mucho más fácil, ¿no? Y remover las cosas que no se necesitan.
So this helps to energize the body to do the kind of work that he does long distance.
Sí, y también se trabaja, decimos nosotros, oyakisheri, ¿no?
So this is also called,
Entonces,
in his language, in Spanish it's called lágrimas de sherry, or the tears of the tobacco.
Sí, y esto es como para poder ingresar, ¿no? De manera personal y también grupal, y se pueda conectar con lo que se dice el camino más profundo.
So this helps to open up what he calls in his language the deepest path, what we call the third eye. So it helps to open that up to do whatever work we're going to do.
Lo que acaban de ver
So what you just saw,
es el sherry, ¿no?
this is the sacred tobacco.
Sí, y yo lo utilizo con una pipa muy pequeñita.
He
Sí.
uses a small pipe
Pues para poder ingresar, ¿no?
to enter, to begin the work.
Porque ingresamos desde la punta de la cabeza
They enter in the top
hasta
of the
la
head,
punta de los pies,
and they work
¿no?
all the way to the tips of the toes.
Sí, y esto es pues juntando, ¿no? Para poder trabajar se juntan, ¿no?
So this is the way they bring all the energies together.
El poder infinito,
Bring the power of Pawa, the
Yeah.
creator,
el sherry
the tobacco, the
Yeah.
sacred tobacco,
dedicado, y la persona quien va a trabajar.
and
Entonces,
the person that's doing the work.
estas tres partes se juntan para poder ingresar.
This sacred trinity is how the work gets done.
Y se trabaja de manera presencial, pero también se trabaja de larga distancia.
They're able to work in person, but they're also able to do long distance healing when the person is not present in our space.
Para los trabajos de larga distancia, aquí yo tengo una lista, ¿no? Varios papeles, ¿no?
So you see a list of papers on his altar.
Que las personas pues piden nuestra ayuda, entonces nosotros ayudamos.
Those are the
Sí.
requests of persons who are asking for healing. It has their name, their date of birth, and their physical address.
Entonces pues hay la mayoría, casi el 99.9% que no conozco así, de cara a cara.
So 90%, almost all of the people
Sí.
on those papers, we have not seen them. They're face to face. We do not know what they look like. We only talk to them over the phone.
Pero después que la maestra Bernadette hace la conexión y las experiencias son diferentes, cada persona tiene diferentes, ¿no? Resultados, ¿no? Son resultados positivos.
After a long distance session, the person and I get into we have a plática, we have a conversation, and they share their experience. And everybody that has requested a healing, their experience is very different on all levels. And so we get to share that and keep records of that too.
Durante el trabajo hacemos una preparación antelar, ¿no? Antes, durante el trabajo y después del trabajo, porque todo esto se enmarca, ¿no? Es decir, el espacio de trabajo. Es decir, abrimos el espacio y también cerramos el espacio. Durante este trabajo, nuestros hermanos espirituales, ¿no? también trabajan con nosotros.
The long distance consists of preparing the space before the person is contacted, and then during the sessions last anywhere from an hour to 2 hours. He does not watch the clock. He feels the energy of the person, and that's how long he works, and it's anywhere between an hour to 2 hours, sometimes a little longer. But then afterwards he does a closing of the space. And so those 3 parts are really important, to create an opening in each of those and to create a closing.
Trabajamos con varios elementos, ¿no?
He works with the various elements.
Trabajamos con la pluma.
He works with the
¿sí?
feather.
Trabajamos con la piedra.
He works with
¿sí?
the stones.
Trabajamos con el fuego.
He works with the
¿sí?
fire.
Es nuestro fueguito. Entonces trabajamos con varios otros elementos.
And they work with
¿sí?
other elements.
Entonces, durante el trabajo inicial, trabajamos básicamente con 7 técnicas, ¿no?
And basically,
7 técnicas.
from the beginning, they work with 7 different, what they call techniques.
Pero a medida que vamos avanzando, trabajando, a veces no son suficientes las 7 técnicas, sino a veces llegamos entre 11, 12, 13, 14 técnicas durante todo el trabajo, y esto sí, consume bastante energía también, digamos, para poder lograr los resultados.
It's only during the session when they get to the 7th step that they recognize that more work needs to be done, and so sometimes it can take 11 steps, 12 steps, 13 steps, but they really don't know until they're in process of doing the work.
Trabajamos para la parte de la armonización.
They work
¿no?
for harmony.
Para la parte de equilibrio.
They work to create equilibrium.
También la claridad.
They work to create clarity.
Y la prosperidad.
And prosperity.
Y también la reconexión.
And to reconnect the person.
Y pues trabajamos lo que es también la parte de el fortalecimiento.
They're working to strengthen the person.
El encaminamiento.
To open their pathway.
La liberación.
To give them freedom.
Y la energía.
And the energy of the personal energy of the person.
Puede ser la energía femenina o masculina.
And it can be either feminine or masculine.
Sí, y también trabajamos todo, no dejamos espacios, trabajamos de manera integral. Todas las líneas, todos los canales, todos los pasos y todos los puntos del cuerpo.
They don't like to leave any spaces empty, and so they work all of the meridians, all of the channels, all of the energy points, and all the levels of the body.
Pues sí, los resultados que hemos tenido, digo hemos tenido porque durante el trabajo es mío, pero están los otros hermanos espirituales, ¿no? Y todo el trabajo se centra, ¿no? Se centra para poder decir, es la razón que expreso decir nosotros.
The reason why he says we when he's talking about doing the healing, although you only see him, he says we because he calls in the spiritual brothers and sisters, which people call their guardians, their guides, ancestors, angels. All those beings are called in that are working to create a positive harmony in the person's healing.
Espero que este pequeño compartir sea pues de vuestra información, pues cuando ustedes, alguno de ustedes necesita nuestra ayuda, está bien, son bienvenidos.
So he's welcoming any of you that listen to this small presentation. He wants to welcome you if you need our assistance to please contact us. And also anytime you're in Albuquerque and you want a tour of our garden, please, we welcome you to come have a tour and enjoy our garden space.
Arrive, pasonke maro etini, pa vakiro kapichene nuñani, pikin poyero anta pito enakinta, ukanta tanakiari, utampat kanta nakiari pau, arrive, ariukaratsu, pasonke maro etini, ariukaratsu.
And finally, in his traditional Ashenica language, he would like to send well-being, well wishes, and blessings to everybody. Thank you.
Pasonke.
Bye.